looks like it's all good there. There we go.
Okay. And now this is to attach the spout.
Assembly of teapots. Copy all over to him. Good morning.
Sven,
Also, thanks for joining.
I'm going to be attaching the parts to the
There's a
teapot.
teapot base.
Okay, and
I'm
a little teapot.
Okay.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
Okay, and there's one of the spouts.
Yeah. Okay.
And I have a lid here. Do you want to give it a look-see before I detach the lid?
Yeah, because you do. It's gonna see if it fits.
It fits!
It fits.
Good. In which case I can take it off its back.
You can take it off its back.
And this, let's see. So do I.
It's to flex the bat to try
There
to
we
get the lid to let go. And what I'll do is get the
Giffen grip.
Different grip. Good morning, Eleanor.
I get to see a cool tool there.
The cool tool, yes.
And you have
And the parts are right there. This makes it easy to oh, stop that, you stupid pedal.
actually, since at this one we do have two of them, what I can do is hold it up over here. Because this is a Giffen grip.
Oops. Put the little feet on here and it'll hold like
And yes, the two halves to spin. And you'll see why it spins over there.
I'm gonna put this right here.
No tedious, endless amount of time trying to get the thing centered and then using little lumps of clay to hold it in place.
This is a lot quicker.
That just saved you what? Good 15, 20 minutes worth of work right there?
Yeah. I'm all for using time-saving equipment. They're not cheap, mind you.
No. And the reason why we have two of them now is because the amount of wear on the old one.
Yeah.
They get less precise with age.
Well, that one I've had for over 15 years.
Yeah. It takes...
And when I bought it, we still lived in Dublin. And it was long before the business started.
Yeah.
Now that I've rounded that, I will use
Silicone tool.
silicone tool and smooth it.
Is that way you don't have that nasty scrapey texture?
Yeah. And since this had been the bottom, I also want to get this all nice and smooth too.
Because it is now the top of the lid. Come here, other teapot. There we go. Oh.
And there we go. It's rounded. And I will do the next one as well.
Me test fit.
Yes.
Also
and it
fits.
just fits.
Good.
Okay.
Gotta move
Yes.
this one.
Move that one.
Because that one just goes up on the shelf to dry now. Pop it off the bat. I said pop. No. Okay. Twist and pop again. There we go.
All right. Well,
Here, the back goes down there.
and very quickly centers it. It's also very handy for when I'm doing the large Greek multi-part constructions.
Ruth and Tim. Hello.
these metal loop tools wear out really fast because you're scraping them across. When it quits to sandpaper. Anyway, smooth this one off.
I was just trying to see if I could find one of these.
Oh yes, the foot pedal's getting a little touchy.
Yeah. And the more medieval version of that loop tool that she was just using
It's absolutely
is terrifying. Because, yeah, it'll take a lot longer for a tool like this to wear out. But it looks like a weapon.
Hey, Kessler droid. Good morning. Yes. Okay.
And that'll go
now,
up there.
We're done with this part.
Yep, time to put the Giffen away.
Alright. Take these things off. Put them back in there. Goes up
The
there.
usefulness of old yogurt containers.
And okay, and here are the
Spouts.
soon-to-be spouts. Because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to slice them down at an angle.
I'll put loopy thing of death back in its drawer.
Yeah.
There we go.
And this is what I have left on the bat.
Yep, which I'll just pry that off.
I could try to make it into a little doodah guy. And this is where those little $2 plates come from, is when I have to cut the bottom off of something.
Really, there is something happening under her hands. Yeah, because you cut it off at an angle. Can be all sorts of unevenness to trim off.
And there we go.
A little miniature dish suitable for a salt cellar or condiments.
Or whatever.
A little end that will no longer be a piece of waste clay.
My spout fell over.
Oh, he's fine.
Yeah.
The important thing with the spout
Is no.
that
That looks just a bit long, wouldn't you say? Right?
Yeah, I think it could cut it down. And
Just a little bit.
it looks more like a handle at this point. Nikki Perry joined. Oh, no.
See, this nice little mark is to a nice place to put the spout.
I think, yeah, you could even do it at a more severe angle as well.
First of all, I'm going to have to get it the right length.
Yeah.
It's always a good idea to make them a little longer because each one. Blah, blah, blah. There we go. That. I don't want to have it too severe. No, so I have to.
Shape the inside of it.
Yeah,
The
because
important-
I'm not putting it on a flat surface. I'm putting it on a curved surface.
And the important thing is that you make sure that the bottom lip of your spout is higher than the fill line on the inside of your teapot.
Actually, maybe not higher, but not too much below. Because otherwise you'd have to have it way up here, and that would be too high.
No, I said the bottom lip of the spout.
Yeah.
He's slightly crooked.
That's not what I'm trying to do. Now, nice thing about the side of the teapot, it's still soft enough it's sticking to it.
Which
Ooh,
also
this is
means-
nice little.
Yeah, it leaves a ring mark on the side.
It's a little ring
Yeah,
mark.
and it is just visible. She just cut an X marks the spot.
Because that way, I have 4 marks to sight on. Now I have to
Carve out the hole. always is the part that feels so wrong. It's like, yeah, let
No.
me take this
Nothing.
nice, lovely shape and drill a hole in the side. It's like the time we did the bagged wine holder.
Yeah.
It was this large vase shape with a hole cut in the bottom sides for the spigot on the wine bag.
And now what I have to do is slip and score. What I'm going to need is the goo.
You're going to need goo, and you are going to need handles.
Yes. But for that, I'm going to need the goo.
Yes. You see, earlier I ran across the bag of handles.
This is the wrong color goo.
Yeah, that's black goo.
That's black goo.
Once upon a time, that lid, we were using that to hold turkey soup. It's just read what was written on the lid.
In grease pencil.
In grease pencil, which never really comes back off plastic. Yeah, that's the right color. Okay. Whoop.
The goo. The goo comes from the water buckets. It's the clay that's on the hands.
Yeah.
It sinks to
More
the bottom.
mainstream. Hello.
Then you
And
scoop it out and you let it harden up for a couple of days, and you have a bucket of goo.
And if anyone is having image quality issues, you can head over to the version of the stream over on YouTube or on Twitch. Let's see.
You want to compress it because you want it to have a nice strong join. Then we have to let this sit here for a while. It has to firm up so I can finishing up the opening in there.
Yeah, because if you
Well, you
tried to
have to
smooth
do-
it down now, you'd have a good chance of.
Here we go. Oh. Get the goo because you don't want to close up your nice hole you just made. That would be a bad thing.
Yeah. And Gwendolyn Simmons doing. And no.
Get the goo because you don't want to close up your nice hole you
Go
just
stop. There we go. Okay, good.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like spackling the area.
Yeah, because you want it to have a good, strong connection. Because
Oh,
most of the goo
you put
squishes to the inside.
You bumped the
so,
lip in one spot.
as I said, it's still really soft. Get all pretty off my hand. And this one gets to sit up here now. Hand me the next one.
Spout. Be careful. And what I have in my hands here is not a teapot. This is a skull blank. There we go.
Get some of the stuff off the side there.
That's something I could work on while you're doing that guy there. There we go. And we were originally planning to do the spouts and things yesterday, but things were just not dry enough yet. Covered them up and they stayed a lot wetter than
The
expected for a
bodies.
change.
the teapot bodies are still
They're
really
still
soft.
really soft.
There we go.
Oh, that one came out nicely. Yeah, set that to the side. This. Here.
There we go.
And
Hand me the teapot.
that's not the tool. Yeah, this one will work. Yes. Scraped bits on the side.
Always make it shorter. If you cut off too much, you're screwed.
Yeah. If you cut off too much, you're just going to have a short spout. Either that or you have to wrap up the base really well and throw a new one.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, it's better. Yes. I'll just keep adjusting the length until it looks right. There is no magical proportions. It's what looks right to you.
Did you rotate that one 90 so I can see? Oh yeah, I like the spout on that one.
Yeah.
And the
That's a
right
good impression.
and the right spout shape for one is not necessarily going to be the right spout shape for the next one.
Yeah. That's what I mean. There is no real formula for what makes the right size or shape of spout.
Nope.
Except you don't want to start your spout down here because then
Yeah.
and that's not good. Because the bodies are still too soft to put handles on.
Got it. I brought them over just in case.
It's good. Like it's just not.
It's a total no.
I would deform the teapot too much.
Yeah, and if you deform it too much, the lid won't fit.
You don't want that to happen.
Oh, so once you've got the spouts on, do you want me to put the lids
you can put
on?
the lids on there. That
Because
way
it'll keep the opening from distorting.
Yes, that's what I was going to say after I finished with this step, Sarah.
Pointy tool. Why are those ones always going into hiding?
Because they don't like you.
They don't like you either.
No,
They go into hiding.
I think they like my fingers a little too much because they're always trying to stab me.
Yeah. We need that one, and I'm going to need the tool that I use for the nose. There we go.
Go. Make sure to have a hole on the inside too. It's easier to have the hole, make the hole when it's still softer, but not too soft.
Yeah, because otherwise the whole thing's going to warm.
And
Just
that's not good.
distort. Squish, squish.
Okay. And here we go.
So I will come get that from you. And I should also see if we have any. The thing is with the handles that are going to go into the spinning bowls.
I can do it right here.
Yeah. Get these guys back up onto the shelf with lids.
Probably should put the lids on first.
Yep, that's what I was going to do. I got it halfway up and went, halt. Is that what you
That
asked?
way people could have seen what it looked like with the lids on this. Alright.
Lid.
Why don't you just hand me the other lid and I'll put it on.
Yes, I will do so in just a moment. Slide that guy back onto the shelf.
And I made the openings on both these the same size, so
The lids are interchangeable.
yes.
And the reason for the color difference right now in the clay between the top and between the body of it and the lid is the different dryness.
Yes. Which was what I was about to say. But or I'll set this down till you're ready.
Ugh. Okay.
Now in here.
Okay. Actually, what we can do is pull that image back up. There it is. And again, there we go.
Time for a different color.
Okay. So, let's see.
This
Yeah,
there.
those are not the handles for this project.
These are not the handles you're looking for.
Now we have a whole bunch of handles, but I don't think any of the ones that
Why don't you
we have.
bring them over here so I
Okay.
can see?
Here is the bag of handles that we have at the
We are
moment.
just gonna have to.
Make special.
No, we can just adapt them.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna say. They'll be fine. Because there's some in here that'll be. They're nice and roundy.
Okay, good.
We have 2 of these.
Then
Is
we
this
have
one?
2 of the spinning bowls.
Yeah. Because this clay is very adaptable.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna take that much.
No. Because I mean, that loop is what? About that big?
You know this little tool isn't sharp, otherwise I wouldn't be cutting it on my leg. Just in case somebody thinks that I've just totally lost my mind or something. And that's about too tall.
Cool.
And like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
The thing is like, I looked over and then like, I can't even see the handle from here. Which is probably good because it's
You
going to want to
shouldn't.
hold the fiber underneath the water level.
Yeah. I have to do this look and score. Because this is for spinning flax, which has to be spun wet.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the photographs or
Yeah, I
little
wanna see
videos
this.
that I want to see in action.
Yeah. I need the red goo.
Ah, yes, of course. Now you need a different goo.
Of course, because it's a different color clay.
Are you red goo? No, you are not red goo. This would be the red
Are
goo.
you my cow?
It's not my cow. Goo. Itchy nose. I have Elizabeth Marguerite join. Hello.
This is gonna be a spinning bowl for spinning flax. Because flax has to be spun wet.
Unless you've had some experience with spinning flax.
It's much easier to spin wet too, by the way. But it has lots of
It's
fibrous stuff that gets into the air that's very bad to breathe. Not to mention, it doesn't spin worth crap dry. It was for a demo when somebody brought that, so we were all trying to do it and couldn't figure out why
it wasn't working. Why it didn't spin like wool?
Oh, for one thing, it's not wool. It's plant fiber. Now that has to sit and firm up so it can be smoothed off.
Yeah, because you don't want. Okay.
Look.
Handle.
Inside bowl.
That would explain. They're seeing examples of bowls like this in archaeology books, and like I've never understood why the bowl had a handle in the bottom, or just series of loops. What on earth is it for? Now I know.
And now you know. This one could probably just take that much of it.
Throw the rest of it back.
Yeah. It's kind of okay.
Have Jim Digger Jenkins doing. Hello. And if anyone is having image quality issues, can head over to either Twitch or to YouTube.
Don't want them to be too tall either.
No, because you want to keep the fiber under the water line.
Water, yeah.
It's one of those times when knowing what the vessel is for affects how you construct it.
Because otherwise, it's what's the handle for?
Yes,
this underneath part here to be really rounded and smooth because I'm drawing the fiber through there.
Yeah, and having it snag would be counterproductive.
That would be bad.
As compared to what I'm doing right now, which is making cheekbones.
She's being cheeky.
You know, one cheekbone.
And then when she finishes with getting the cheekbones on there,
you get the teeth in.
I get the teeth in and I adjust the eyeballs and the nose.
And round the top of the skull.
And, yes. And then
If throwing it is stage 1, this is stage 2. She takes it to stage 3. Then it goes back over to me and I do the parts of the teeth that require lots of close-up. Because I'm nearsighted, she's farsighted.
And also, when we first started making them, we both wanted to do it, so therefore
It's
divided.
how the process ended up working out.
Yes.
So, work cheekbone into the rest of the vessel. Tool. Even though I have small fingers, there are places that you need a tool to get to.
Those places even your fingers won't fit.
Okay. One cheekbone.
There we go.
It's also the reason why when it comes to categorizing.
And there we go.
There we go. Second
Let's go
Egyptian
like
style
that.
spinning
Yeah.
bowl. I so want to see the demo.
No,
I just want to see the demo.
I want to see somebody using it.
And with that, what else is up here? Okay, those are just straight up cups.
I have to do handles on those if you want.
Yeah.
So you know, might as well.
Yep. In which case, I will take away the red goo. Do you want a board over the wheel here?
Yeah, that makes it easier. I could use this board right here, as a matter of fact.
Okay. Yes, and that's the white clay side of that board.
Yes.
Oh, this is one of the damaged bats. Yeah, you got a crack in that direction. Okay. Go. It's cup number 1. And I will get you the stamp.
And this is around the foot.
Yes, this anonymous object is not actually a piece of clay.
Well, it is.
But
It's fine.
that is
Or Maker's
Maker's
Mark
Mark.
stamp.
sometimes we have a hard time when it comes to almost losing it.
Because
Most
it's
all
your
the other
basic
clay-shaped
clay
objects.
color. Oh, that's...
It is kind of soft. Yeah, Rendlefin Salad, Mora Vanderlinden, and Matt England. No.
I need the right...
Yes, I need to
handles.
get you the correct handles. We don't need a repeat of that incident.
That was due to the
That was
mismarked clay.
yeah. Once we had a batch of
The black
quote
clay.
unquote black clay that had been either badly mismixed or completely mislabeled. Because it was actually red,
It's a very dark red.
very deep red, but distinctly not black. Okay, put that guy here for the moment.
Actually,
But let me trade
stools with you.
You want my chair?
Yeah.
Cause wrong angle?
Wrong angle.
Okay. Hup.
This
No,
one
that's
will
about the
actually-
same height.
It'll be just
Cool.
a little lower.
It's my squishy ball chair.
Oh yeah, there we go.
And I'll use your throwing stone.
Yeah. Attaching
really
handles, there's lots of ways because you have to cut off either end.
And I really should have thought about bringing the step stool back in here. Oh yes, you are still.
Oh,
quite
and
wet.
you can't even see what I'm doing.
Oops.
Oh, that's a thing.
Oh, no. You can see what you're doing.
Well, I put it on my leg briefly.
Oh, here, let me rotate the camera. Because the cat was hamming it up the other day. There we go. And now if you put it in your lap, it'll still be visible.
Okay.
Benefit of attaching the webcam to a camera tripod. With the, what's in there? What did I use?
Oh, you took away the light colored glue.
Oh, yeah. No, it's right there.
Oh, it's right there. 'Cause I moved it already. Never mind.
Oh, wow. The rubber band that I had holding it in place has actually snapped. I have no idea what's holding it in place right now.
Okay.
Well, that's a thing. Come over here.
Go. Not used to anybody watching me while I'm doing this part. I compress this part. Oh, how the thumb spot right here started was me compressing the handle against the...
Overton joy. I know. Oh, this room is getting warm.
Yeah.
There we
Let me
go.
put this
I'll
over
put the other
here.
garment.
This can go over here. Oh my goodness, that's soft.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Should have warned you.
Why wasn't anything drying
I
yesterday?
don't understand.
It wasn't like it was cold or wet.
No. Well, we actually have things dry faster when it's cold outside because the heater comes on more.
A lot.
Go.
Put them right there.
Well, I don't want to get between you and the camera is what I'm trying to. Not to here. There we go.
No, it was, I didn't want to get the,
Oh, because that's where you're putting your food bucket.
and I didn't want to drop it into the cup.
Yeah, not so much. Come here. Yep, and there. That's the last of the mugs off of their backs. So there was 6 of them.
Yeah.
There.
Here's the crook of my thumb right here, and I just go around, and also says something about, my skin.
Yeah.
Where'd the stamp go? Where did the stamp
It's right here on the scale.
on the scale?
I didn't move it.
Okay, there we go.
I saw where you put it.
It's like putting down a pencil or a paintbrush. Where did that go now? I
The
just
tool
had
that you
it.
were looking for a few seconds ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. The Ziploc bag full of handles.
Well, it enables us to make them
Days or
in
weeks.
days or weeks in advance and just have them when we need them and they're already the right consistency. So they're waiting for the cups.
Is that cut down? So they'll match onto the side. Actually, this one would fit that cup better. This happens a lot. Pick up a cup
Just the
and
reason
a
why she
handle,
sits with them all around her.
and it's go, no, that one doesn't go with that cup. And then I go, oh no, it'd go with this one right here. And what makes it look like it goes with that one? It just looks right.
Years of practicing the proportion of cup to handle.
Yeah, but anymore it's good like because that's the way it looks like it goes without.
Tina Diggs doing. Oh no. Get all the things made here.
The handle has to be firm enough not to go floppy, and yet not too hard that if you bend it a little bit, it snaps.
It's
That would be bad.
the snap bad.
You have to have just the right consistency, or within a certain range. And that's what my thumbnails are for. I could also use a tool for it. I do want to do this part. That's why my thumbnails have gotten stronger over the years, because I use them as tools now.
So what you're saying is they're fighting back being abused.
Yeah, well, my fingernails grow a lot faster than they used to, because I used to wear them down past the quick, but they're growing.
Don't anymore.
They don't. If I don't go a week without throwing, my fingernails grow past the ends of my fingers, and it's weird.
It feels, yeah, it's
And
just
these
weird and
things
uncomfortable.
growing out the end of my finger, past the end of my fingers, and it's just
They
weird.
catch on things.
Yeah.
Which actually can be a significant detriment when you get back to working with clay. So you don't want to leave fingernail couches and everything.
Well, I also have really soft fingernails. So
Yeah,
they didn't
you
grow
pass
with
that
beans
on.
anyways.
None of us have hard fingernails.
My sister does.
Yeah, that gene did not come down the side of the family.
It's okay. Yeah. She can have the hard fingernails. I wouldn't use them anyways.
You just grind them off like you do the soft fingernails.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might take longer.
Now to pull the skull off of his back.
She always looks like she has fake fingernails, except that's just the way they grow. Always have.
There we go. And right now, the skull just looks like it was hit by, maybe a
Blunt
frying
force
pan.
Very cartoony.
Yes. Now I need to get It's a bowl. It's the reason why we got a set of cheap plastic bowls
From the dollar
from
store.
the dollar store. That is what the
They will
skull
never
sits in.
see food.
Oh no, never. That's what the skull sits in.
It's a skull rest.
It's a skull rest. So it doesn't, escape off the table.
Because
Or-
heads will roll.
Heads will roll. Yeah,
They
there was
do.
one time it rolled and almost made it to the floor, and you
It
had
landed in my lap. And it was kind of like, well, heads will roll. So, yeah.
Where's another one of my bowls? Where have I gotten off to now? Oh, there's one.
So apply just the right amount of force to make the handle just the right shape. So you want them to be comfortable in the hand.
There's the next bowl set up. Skull. Okay.
Okay. You go over there.
Oh, you'd probably like it if I moved some of those things out of your way.
Well, there's only 2 so far.
Yeah, it'd be kind of awkward to get up, being on
Yeah,
because there's walls in the way.
I put them over here.
Yes.
I can stand up. It's amazing. I can stand up. And put this one over here. There we go. Next handle. This one's shorter. And they do kind of get mangled in there sometimes. But that's why they have to be soft enough to be able to smooth out the
Andrew
angles.
Scott. Hello.
Just finishing up.
I rooted that
I'm
out.
putting, I have 4 more cups to go for handles.
The edge on this one is really stout, so I'm going to have to carve this one down to make the right shape for the teeth.
So he'll have enough material for teeth without having to add some.
Yes.
That's good. It's not always the case.
You can have like big fat molars in the back there.
There we go. We did 2 of those, right?
Yes, we did too. Only 2. Only 2.
And like rabbits that keep multiplying.
I hope not. It'd be really disturbing if you turn your back on the skulls and they multiply. Yeah, the teeth on the skulls get mighty tedious if we're making, like, say, the one time we made 12,
Yes.
or I think the max we ever did in one sitting was, 16?
Yeah, that was too many.
That was too many skulls.
There you go. There it is.
You could
Underneath.
bury your tool.
Yeah, for once I did. It wasn't you. You're always burying my tools.
Well, I only have
This
so much
tool over
place. I only have so much space to put the lumps of clay when you're throwing. So, yeah. You make it more skull shape.
Basic skull shape.
Eye socket. It's one of those times that sometimes. Yeah, remember when we actually used to sit with the model skull in front of us while we were doing this part?
Yep.
This just goes to show how many of these we've made. Oh, don't get away, tool.
Yep. When you had to draw skeletons in drawing class, did you ever think,
I never thought that I'd be drawing skeletons as something that I did for my job. Mind you, the skeletons that I draw on the pottery,
They're
a
more
lot more
cartoony.
cartoony.
Yep. Of course, so are the skull heads. They're not.
Yeah, they're not anatomically correct skulls.
They're. No, because otherwise the water would leak out the eye sockets.
Yeah, and the nostrils.
Nostrils, yes.
And likely the points where the oral nerves go through as well.
Yeah. That would just be good to see.
Okay, you came off the bat already. Well, fine then. See? He's missing his nose as of yet.
So you can't smell anything.
It looks really creepy without a nose.
Looks very cartoony.
Yeah. Nose tool. There we go.
Guess it's my thumb that creates that divot right there.
It gives it the right sort of compression.
Let go of my fingers. Little crummy bits.
And it was the stream from 2 days ago. It was the throwing of these items. As you can see, stage 1. And also a good example of when people ask us, well, how long does it take you to make?
I never make just one thing.
Yeah.
Either.
You never sit down and just make one. Certainly, you never make one start to finish because
no, you can't.
You can't make it start to finish in one setting. Sitting.
After we finish here, we'll
We'll
have
move.
lunch and then move on to doing drawing and painting. And then she's going to be getting the blaze fire going.
Which means that within the next 2-ish days, there will be an unloading video. Because if I get the kiln going by bedtime tonight, which is
The
most
goal.
likely the case, yeah, which is my goal, then it'll probably take most of tomorrow to cool down, and depending on how much of what's currently set aside to go into the fire and fits in the kiln today, will have a bearing on how fast I make the kiln cool off. Because you can let it cool off at the speed that it wants to, and it'll probably take about a day to fully cool off.
Ooh, this one's really soft. I think I'll do him last.
Yeah, there was one that was particularly sticky.
No, there's been more than one, sir.
Well, sticky to my hands. Meh, I do not have enough clay here for the... I'm actually going to have to get out a little bit of clay for the cheekbones on this one. So normally I don't have to get out additional clay to make the cheekbones.
Terrible.
It's like, seriously?
You sound so offended.
It's not following the pattern. Those actually need to be carved down a little deeper anyways. There we go. That's better.
Hope everybody
In terms
had a good weekend. Last weekend.
Oh, yeah. And a sane one, given what last weekend was.
Oh, yeah. St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day is quite the celebration in some areas, at least.
Yes.
Have Jeffrey Bales join. Hello. Where are you? Just getting the handles on to the last 3 cups. And I'm making another pair of cheekbones for the second skull.
Yeah.
Go back and watch the earlier parts when it was the first stage of assembly for a pair of teapots. And we just kept doing things in multiples of either 2 or 6, didn't we? Because there was also the 2 Egyptian spinning bowls for spinning flax fiber. You were just going to be an ugly cheekbone.
It's ugly bastard Jones.
He's not ugly little bastard Jones, though. This is a large skull. Mind you, this one has a serious case of frying pan.
What I could do is demonstrate how I round the tops of the head.
Yeah, because that's actually the same technique that you use for when you're making pipkins.
Yeah.
How the bottoms of medieval cook pans were rounded out. Same technique, different style
show
vessel.
that technique on Secrets of the Castle too.
Yes, they do.
Just
That was
really
cool.
Squeezes out all the excess. Slip here. So you want it to have a good solid connection. Smooth out this the joint.
Yeah, that's what I kind of shaping that one now.
This will get smoothed out a little bit more once they dry more too. So
Yeah,
joins around the
handles.
handles. That one has kind of this. There we go.
Yeah, it's always best to notice the curvature to the handles before they dry. After they dry, you're out of luck.
It kind of happens sometimes, though.
Squish, squish.
If you think about the way you hold it, you probably have somewhat of a bend anyway. So.
Yeah. Now where'd I put that? Ah, it's still over here.
See, this one took off some of the different colored clay off of the back, so that's where it gets the interesting coloration on the bottom of the cups.
It's not that they're made out of more than one kind of clay, it's that they have scraps of, they have the history of that particular bat.
Yes.
There are some pieces that end up like with 4 different colors of clay visible on the bottom.
Which is kind of cool looking.
Oh. Well, fine then, you bag of clay. It just rolled off the shelf.
I know.
It was just meh.
Now, there's evidence.
I put it up there probably when it was on top of a bag of, actually it was just on top of a thing of plastic.
You just put the maker's mark and then the year. It's one number to either side of the maker's mark generally.
So that one's 19.
Yeah. And I'll use the end of the stamp to do that too.
Which is kind of impressive that we have not worn off that detail on the stamp, considering what we've used it for. Because generally, yeah, it's the tip of the tail, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, if I take and close this image, yes, that right there is what the maker's mark looks like. Just not with the diamond around it.
Dragon maintaining laptop.
Book.
You see, the first one kind of looked like a laptop, so I've given
The
her.
origin of the logo / maker's mark was first full semester I had of college.
Yeah.
One of the assignments was to do a business card.
And you were not amused with it either.
No, I thought it was a
So-
stupid assignment.
So I go, I want you to, okay, sir, I want a business card.
So I did this little dragon. The design predates the business by several years.
Yeah.
By it's now 5 years.
Yeah.
Predates the business by 5 years. I always remember what year that was.
You sprained your ankle.
No, that's not the reason why. It was 9/11.
Oh.
And
yeah.
every art project we
Current
had
events.
had a tie-in to that
Yeah.
for the rest of the semester. I also had a sprained ankle. Actually, it was very possibly a broken ankle. Thinking about how long it took that thing to heal. There we go. You are now. Yeah, this one has a distinct case of frying pan.
It's frying pan. Frying pan hated.
Yep.
I will take care of that.
Careful when you're rounding this there, else he's got enough surface area up here, he might turn into an alien head.
Yeah. Well,
It does also happen. Now, where did I put the bowl?
I don't know.
There it is. Above eye line.
I did not touch it. Can't. It's not my fault.
There we go. Second heat. There. No. Sit level. Do not roll over and play dead. There. And now I will move these onto the shelf.
Because if you look at the medium or the large ones, sometimes you can see my knuckle marks on the inside of the skulls.
Yep. And I will knock down some of the surface texture around the handles. Because the texture on this one doesn't have a stamp on the bottom.
There's always those.
There's always one. There we go. All fixed. And sometimes we catch them before they've dried, been fired.
Yeah.
Other times we end up drawing the mark on the bottom.
Yep.
Yep, mark. Around the handles is coming out fairly smooth today. Ugh.
I'm using kind of end of the line handles too.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna
I'm
have to pull
really
more soon.
having to be creative with some of these.
Those are the ones that didn't fit on anybody else.
Yeah.
Tape. Take this over to the shelf.
That one. Or
Down to the last two handles. I think the second one.
So I'm gonna.
Oh, never mind. Then the first one.
Yeah, that one had the better shape, but didn't have the length. I was slowly sliding off.
I've gotten used to sitting on it.
No, but it was so because I'd lean forward and sit back.
Uh-huh. And I do have the little wool rug over it to give me some insulation from A, the vinyl surface, and B, the cold in the winter.
This one's just a little beat up, so I have to like smooth them down with my fingers. I suppose more specifically my thumbs.
Which is the reason why you just have an even layer of callus all over your entire hand.
Yes. I have work hardened hands. So it was 12 months.
That was when you were helping dig a channel across a road to bury a cord.
No. Don't do that!
You'll hurt your hands. It's like, really?
Seriously. And what are we digging the cord for? The wheel. Of which I do what?
Throw with clay. Clay being refined dirt. Specially formulated dirt. Specifically, dirt that has little to no organics to the mix.
You have to wonder with that red clay sometimes with the spalls.
Oh, I know. A spall is when a little flake of clay will basically fire off the surface of a piece. Sometimes not so little.
That there's an organic.
There was an organic inclusion in the clay that, well, expanded and popped a chunk off of the vessel. Now, most of the times they're little flakes, probably less than 1/4 of an inch.
Well, not always.
Other times,
it becomes a feature.
Yes. There was one time where it fired off a flake that was maybe 1 inch across on the inside of a platter. That was just covered up with the black background, so it was more or less just a surface variation. But there was one time where it's a couple times where it's fired off the side of either a bowl or a cup.
Most often it's a bowl.
Most often, yeah. And there was one time it fired off and it was most of the thickness of the bowl. So that time we put a design on it where it looked like a kid was getting in trouble for using a slingshot and being hauled away by their mom because of the damage they did to the vessel they were on. Fine-tuning of handle length.
This little bit can make a big difference.
1/4 inch thickness slice there.
It does. It makes a big difference. Really soft cup.
You can see what's probably both your and my fingerprints in the sides of that one.
That one will need. Well, it needs to firm up some before we can get rid of those.
Oh, I know. And in any case,
every time I touch it,
in the fingerprint, the surface texture fingerprints are most often covered up.
But still, I'd rather have them
smoothed out.
Just have to smooth them out.
Yep.
Because it just looks messy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can clear these tools off of my desk.
But you can't do anything about it until
Nope.
it's firmer.
Now, the right consistency, they just kind of rub down.
They won't rub right now.
No, it mush the whole thing.
That's why I did this one last.
And the 2 skulls, I think, are actually a good consistency at the moment. They are neither over soft nor hard and resistive to being reshaped. All the little refinements that she does to the handle. Squeeze, squeeze. So how does the ball chair work in relation to the height of the wheel?
It'd be a little too low for throwing.
Yeah. There we go. And I'm going to hand you the nicer of the 2 skulls in shape, not Mr. Pancake Head.
Okay.
And I'll put the stamp back away before it jumps.
It is.
As she pounds the top of his head. There we go. Squish. Because you're using gravity for a good point. Kevin Rhodes and just in time for the skull puppet show.
Hi there, how are you doing?
And this is where the knuckle marks on the inside of the skull come from. Oh, do you need a small rib?
I have some here. Ooh, you still looks like you died of blood force.
Yeah. Hey, all the headache sufferers out there right now, can you just look on in horror?
Look!
This could be the skull is being reshaped from the inside. And right now he has that kind of crown marking from what had been the bottom of the bat.
Because people always ask, so how do you make these?
What do you mean they started out as a throne form?
Well, you can see the throne rings. A lot of times it's on the back.
Yeah. Sometimes the forehead.
Yeah, but those will kind of look more like eyebrow ridges or something.
True.
I take the eyeballs. I do this.
You pull them around. You pull them up slightly, and it's like, voila, instant eye ridges.
Yeah, and this side is higher than that side. And then,
Right now he looks sad.
but yeah. But now he's really soft enough at this point that he really does need to sit.
Okay, yeah, he still has his bowl.
And he has to sit like this because now he hasn't fit. Oh, yeah, he's
soft.
Whoa, he's still really soft. There we go. Straightened it back out.
Okay, so now he's probably 2-3 hours before he's ready for any more.
Yeah, because he's soft.
Very consistent texture all the way around, though.
And now,
As I said, he's Mr. Pancake Head.
and this shows you just how small my hands are.
Are you saying that this activity might actually be easier with a slightly larger hand?
For the large ones, yes.
It is your favorite size of the skull to make is the medium. I think my favorite when it comes to the finished ones are the miniature black ones.
Yeah, they're the cutest when they're done.
In part because the miniature black ones are extra small because the shrinkage rate. The black clay has a much higher shrinkage rate than this clay. It almost looks like that one's wearing a beret right now.
Just looking at the way his head is just contorting.
He was an awkwardly shaped skull. Oh, it's so creepy watching the finger grooves come from the inside of the skull.
Yeah, because
Not
you
that
don't usually watch me do this.
No, because generally I'm working on another one or I've gotten up and to do something else.
Because your part was done.
Because my part was done and I was waiting for them to be the right consistency and completion to refine the teeth.
You get to do the dental hygienist part.
I know, I sit there with a small cup-shaped tool and do the fine-tuning of the tooth shape. Yeah, he still has a facet to the back of his head. He was just being ornery. I suppose, there are people whose skulls are that shape.
Yeah, I said people.
Well, he's not that bad.
Well, he's really soft.
Yeah, they're very consistent. I am watching the whole shape of the front of the face change when you adjust the eye sockets.
Yeah.
There was a fair bit of black clay on that one, wasn't there?
Yeah. That's trunks. Yeah, it's okay.
It'll look like a dirty skull.
And also one of them gets painted black.
Very true. That might be the one that gets black.
Yes.
I have to decide whether we're going to do one or both of those as black. That's still quite some time.
Yeah.
Because these pieces take a long time to dry.
Yeah, and just about to the point where he's going to have to sit.
Yeah, because right now he's got the claw marks from the inside look on the back of his skull. Very sci-fi horror at that point.
Yeah, well, they go through that phase.
That they do. That they do.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go. And that's
Interesting.
how I take them from being flat to being rounded.
Yep. Face. Oh, caught his jaw on the shelf.
Okay.
Yeah, that part will get sculpted into teeth anyways.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not a good place to have a fingernail mark there. Looked like he caught an axe blow to the eye socket. I'm like, ooh, let me just smooth that out. You can imagine the scar that would have left on the face. In any case, that's all we're going to do right now. Bye.